Hi guys, today we have this regulator for the capacitor bank. You can see the capacitor bank here. This regulator is known as Circutor Computer Max 2. Circutor Computer Max 2. Max 12 I mean, the 12 steps, Max 12. You can see our power factor now is 0.99. Before the first steps came in, you can see the first step is in. Before the first step came in, it was 0.98. Yeah, it was 0.887, something like that. It was 0.87, something like that. So we want to see how you can navigate. If you want to, you can. Our arrows here for navigation. They are for navigation. They are for changing the readings, for increment or decrement of the readings, of the numerical values. Yeah, you can use these ones. You can use also to scroll up or down. Yeah, this red one, if I make a long press, it is for, I will jump towards these other programs here. Yeah. So if I use this one to scroll down, at the moment it is showing our power factor, which is 0.99. You can scroll down there, it is showing the amps, is the threshold, the voltage, and the maximum voltage here. So just in case maybe I want to disconnect, suppose you want to disconnect this or to remove this step, the first step, you can make a very long press here, very long press. It will take time, but finally it will be out. Or even you can press the upper arrow or upper, you see finally it has come out. Then I can, if I want to go in and change the power factor, the target power factor, this course is a target power factor. I make a long press here. You see it has changed from run now. It is showing me my target power factor, which I have set at 0.99. If I scrolling down, yes, I've scrolled down, and 0.07 is our ratio of the smallest capacitor, which is 27 kVAr, to the primary of the city, which is 2,500 amps. So the ratio you get 0.77. That's why we have set at 0.77. That is the primary of the city, which is 2,500 amps. The secondary, obviously, it's 5 amps. So the primary and the smallest amps you can get of the smallest capacitor, which is 27 or 25 kVAr, 0.77. So that one will show 112. That one 112. That one is we call it program, in this case, or stages configuration. Stages configuration, that means the first step and the second step are similar. The first step of our capacitor is 25. The second step is also 25, but the third step, it is double the other step. So the first step is 25, the second step is 25, and the third step is 50 kVAr. So that one we call it stages configuration. There is 111 triple one, if it's triple one, so the steps are similar, maybe 25, 25, 25. There is also 1, 2, 4. So the first step is maybe 25, the second is 50, and the third is 50 times 4, which is, yeah, at least you can tell the figure, how it will be. So that is the stages configuration. Then we go there, that's the number of delay, the seconds, you can see. You can see the delay here. That's the delay in seconds of disconnection and connection of the capacitors. Then that one is steps, the number of steps. And the number of steps now is 7 in our case here. You can see even from there, the number of steps is 7. Okay, then that one is T2. T2, that one is showing where you're getting the supply. Like in that case, we have got here T1, live 1 and live 3, you are reading the voltage. Then from live 3, you are getting the current reading, the CT, that's where the CT is. T2, it is showing live 3 and live 2, that's where you're getting the voltage, but the current is in live 3, like in my case. Yeah, and you can continue checking like T3, it's showing live 3 and live 2, that's where you're reading the voltage, and live 2, or the yellow phase, is where you are reading the current. So that's the thing, yeah. Then if you press more, it is indicating times 10. 250 times 10. 250 times 10, in other words, what it is telling us, it is telling us the primary of the CT is 2500. 2500. So this figure, the figure that will indicate here, and it will be flashing here, it is showing 250 times 10, which is 2500. Okay? So that's as far as you can go and check your readings. Yeah, or you can program. Yeah, if you want to exit, you also make, now you are reading our target power factor. If you make along, it will go back to run. Once it has gone back to run, after a few seconds, it should take the steps, because now the power factor at the moment is 0.91 and 0.88, so 0.87. So we expect a step to come in order for it to go to our target power factor, which is 0.99. Yep. So let's wait for the step to come in. It will take a few seconds. Actually, it is set at 15 seconds, the delay time. You can see the delay time here. It's 15 seconds. So it will take a few seconds. Let's wait. We shall wait. So at the moment, our power factor is okay, without even taking a step. The power factor is okay. So almost the target power factor, which is 0.99. That was, it is not taking a step. But the moment it will go down and remain down, definitely a step will come in. Yeah. So how do you now use these buttons to navigate? This one, you can access the program inside. Let me access. Okay, you can see it is the run indicator is off. This one I can use to scroll down. Okay, then I go back there. But suppose I want to do changes on this power, our target power factor, I have to press here a short press here. Okay, this one is highlighting. If I want to jump to this other one, I use the lower button. Yeah, you see, I use the lower button. But now, in case maybe I want to do, if I want to do changes, yeah, if I want to do changes, I can use this one. This other one is for moving down. and the upper one is for doing the changes. Once I'm satisfied with the changes that I have done, once I'm satisfied with the changes, I just make a short press, and then I have to make a long press on the red button. I will exit, and at the same time, the changes will be saved. So I've gone back, and the changes have been saved. Suppose I go back there, and maybe I make the changes. Let's see. I make a short press. Maybe I make the changes. That one, maybe I make one. Actually, or I go to this one. Let's say I make something like that too. So I make a short. If I make a short exit, I'll not be saving it. So I have to make a long press here. Then I'll have saved. You see, I didn't save because I made a very short exit. I made a long exit, and that's why I saved it. Yeah. So I have to go back to, I make a short. I have to go back to our target power factor, which is 0.99. Short press, yeah, and I'm saved. Then I make a long one to go back to run. Okay. Suppose you notice here the alarms here on this regulator. Maybe you can notice E01, E02, E03, which I've written down the course, E04 and E05. E01 is just showing the load current. It's below threshold here. You can see you can check the city connections, which is maybe is less than 0.05 amps. Yeah. E02 is overcompensation, although the stages are already disconnected. Overcompensation is showing like the capacitors are connected, they are overconnected, but overcompensation, but it's showing but in real sense they are not connected. Under compensation, on the other hand, it will detect that they are disconnected, yeah, although they are connected, yeah. That is under compensation. Then there is E04, that's an overcurrent. It is exceeding the current by 20% of the city premium. Yeah. Maybe the city in our case is 2,500 amps. If it goes beyond 2,500 amps, it will show E04. Over voltage, on the other hand, the voltage that we have set there in our case, we have set to 400 and I think and 43, something like that. So those are the most common alarms that you might come across. Yeah. So we can check what is our upper voltage, 423. Okay, and suppose you press these two at the same time, when it is not in, if you press these two at the same time, you will be disabling the alarms. It will not show the alarms. If you press both of them, which I don't want to do at the moment, you press and hold them after some few seconds, you will disable all the alarms. Yeah. So you see our step has come in because our power factor has gone down, so the first step has come in here. We are also servicing here with my friend Mr. Kavin from India, Tamil Nadu. We are returning the fuses. We are done just the maintenance or PPM, preventive maintenance. We have done the preventive. These are the fuses, and we are changing one of the fan here, which is faulty. You can see our reactors here. Everything is clean. So, yeah. And you see our symbol here. This one is indicating it is inductive, or the current is lagging. Yeah, that's the state of our installation or our system here. It is inductive. If it shows here down, that one is capacitive. The current would be leading, yeah. But at the moment it is lagging, which is inductive, and that's why the capacitors are in. If it is capacitive, the capacitors will never come in, yeah. They will never be engaged. That's the thing. So guys, I think that's in our session, and see you in my next video. Okay, bye bye.